I was looking at one of Ron Wills's videos, and he was talking about the character Laurence on the show Insecure. In case any kids are wondering, no, that is not a show for you children. But it's still very good and very well written. I guess you could call it a comedy drama, or even in some instances you could call it satire, or even dark comedy. But yeah, I would say Laurence represents a lot of guys, or your regular guy, maybe even your classic man, to a degree. But Laurence doesn't have the best work ethic. And it's a shame, because when I see a lot of the Lawrences of the world, those are exactly the type of guys who would really benefit from taking a martial arts class, but they also are the least likely to take a martial arts class. The reason why they're the least likely to take a martial arts class because they think they already know how to fight. And even with me personally, more specifically, a lot of them think that they take one look at me, all old and whatnot, got some weight on me. They assume that they could just kick my behind right off without ever having to take a lesson in their life. They feel like, a lot of people think because they look like they're in better shape than you, that they actually are in better shape than you. The only reason why I know that's not true is because I was in the military, and you could never really tell how fit somebody was until it came time to take the physical fitness test. Because even when I was in the military, I had some weight on me. And then when I got kicked out because the weight was too much. But there were plenty of guys that were like well built, real chiseled, couldn't run. Oh my God, could not run. Could not run to save their lives. I'm like, why am I running faster than you when I had to kill myself to get into boot camp shape? And this is even after boot camp. I'm like, I'm running faster than you, and you look all pretty with the muscles and stuff. They have no cardio whatsoever. And even some of them that had the muscles, they didn't have good physical anaerobic endurance. So yeah, maybe they could bench hundreds of pounds, but they couldn't pull themselves up. Now, I know some of that is based on how your body's built and the ratio, just the ratio of your arms to the rest of your body and stuff like that. But still, I was just like, wow. So you couldn't really look at anybody and tell how physically fit they are. But since something like martial arts isn't necessarily based on your physical ability, I tell people a lot. I met a guy, he's probably about the same, he probably was about the same, no, he was older than I am now. He looked like one of the biggest nerds in the world. Man, when he did this, he did his, like, I guess a 30-second test to try to see where my ability was. And he just said, okay, I'm gonna throw some techniques at you. And he did one, you did this? Yes. You did this? Yes. You've seen this? Yes. So he would throw stuff. He would kind of throw stuff, and I would block it, different attacks. And I didn't even know I knew these attacks. And then he basically did this intercepting fist, but you never seen that. I was like, what? No. And he did it again. I was like, no, I've never seen that. And he doesn't look dangerous, but he like trains agents. If he's still working, he's probably still training agents and stuff like that. But if you looked at him, you would never know. He was like regular height, regular build, graying man. You would never know he trained agents. There's nothing about him at all that would tip you off that he was as lethal as he is. And some people call that deceptive advertising, but I think it's hilarious. Just like a lot of the most skilled martial artists typically I've met do not look like anybody who would frighten you if you saw them walking towards you at night. They don't act like, even if they're tall, because there's one guy I met last year, he's pretty tall. He's pretty tall, but he just does not come across as somebody who would scare you. One of the best judokos I've ever met, Sensei Shepherd. She does not look like somebody that would intimidate you. But she knows her stuff. That's just how it is. Now back to the Lawrences of the world. The main way that they really need to learn, why they would really fit your Lawrences to really take a martial arts class, is because even if they can't fight, it would be good for them to learn martial arts techniques, so that if they're ever attacked by the women that they're living off of, who they, are probably angering to no end with their shenanigans, so that if they get attacked by the woman, they won't kill her. There's a case that happened in 2016. In 2016, I believe it was New Jersey. There was a young woman named Emily Rand. She hit a guy at a club. She hit the guy first, and the guy just hit her once. He just reacted. And the last time I looked at her Facebook group, where people keeping people updated on her status, she was just taken off of a ventilator. No, she's not. She hasn't passed away or anything, but she's been on and off ventilators and in and out of the hospital still. This video is being recorded in September 2017. She got hit, I believe it was December 2016 or last part of November 2016. So we're talking about, it's been almost a year. She's still in and out of the hospital. She's still having to deal with brain swelling. She was walking around with a helmet on her head, and that's because she got hit by a guy. She got hit by a guy once, and the guy wasn't even big. He was a small guy, and she looked like she was taller than him, and he hit her once because he just reacted. And see, that's the thing, Lawrences out there. When you're in the martial arts, a lot of times you get trained to not just react. If you get hit or somebody attacks you, you're going to do something defensive first and then try to assess the situation. At least that's how you should be trained. I know some of us will still just haul off and hit someone. But how we tell you the first move in your forms is defensive, or to look before you respond to an attack in a form, sometimes that's best. Because just because you're hit, if you're hit by a fist and it's not killing you, it might be a good idea for you to look and see if it is a threat. Just now, you can deal with the attack. Just deal with getting out of the way of the attack without always having to hit and beat up the attacker. Now, that's why I said in a video I made like yesterday why I love grappling, or what I like about grappling, or something like that. That's the perfect time to fall back on grappling if you know some grappling. Instead of feeling like you got to just hit everybody to hit you. And if you've been hit a lot, and then you get hit willy-nilly, if it doesn't feel like it's doing a lot of damage, you're not going to be tempted to respond in kind with just lethal force. Now, even in the Emily Rand situation, though, an interview I saw on YouTube, the guy that hit her, his mother said that he had to get stitches. So she very well may have hit him hard, but I think if he had a little more training, or the proper training, he could have automatically slipped. That's where that little bit of boxing I got come in handy. You could slip. You'll go with the force instead of necessarily trying to be rigid and absorb the force. If you got that taekwondo karate type background, maybe if you get hit, you'll try to create distance before you respond. If you got some grappling in there, you would just move in and try to, take the person down and control them instead of just responding with the hit. I mean, you have options with the more training that you have. So, but you Lawrences out there, you Lawrences, you Laurence insecure type brothers. I don't want to use the term that I saw in the video because I want to keep this PG. Well, I should say I want to keep this G. You Laurence from insecure type looking brothers, and I'm one of y'all too, really. I mean, I'm really like a Laurence looking. I'm nowhere near that thin. You guys, man, really the main reason why you won't take a martial arts class from me, even though you should, or you don't take it, period, it's just because of your ego, because you think I'm a man, I know how to fight, I don't need no help. But you know, sometimes it's not just about knowing how to fight. It's about knowing how to protect yourself with doing minimal damage to others. And not only that, especially like how Laurence was in the first season, if you're just sitting around playing video games all day, you could be doing something constructive with your time, like learning a martial art. And you know what? You Laurence looking brothers, sometimes in martial arts classes, you can network with people who actually have jobs, and you can learn how to get a better job. Because they know you from class, they trust you, they could turn you on to different job leads. It's a lot of techies. Laurence was a techie. There's a lot of techies taking martial arts classes, teaching martial arts classes. So it could be a way for you to build yourself and network yourself into something better. Instead of being proud and sitting around on a couch, playing video games all day, you know, or just trying to holler at women that, you know, have jobs and you don't. So all you Laurence looking brothers out there, Laurence acting brothers, you know, if you're near me, come on out and take a martial arts class. And let's say for the sake of argument that, you know, you can whip my butt, right? Just right off the gate. You know, it would be really nice for me to get a workout sometimes instead of always having to be in supervisor mode. Not that I resent teaching, but I do like to get a workout in myself sometimes. The only way I get workouts now is I have to build people up to my level, and then I can work out with them. It'd be nice if you so thorough as you claim you is. Come and teach me something. And you know what? Seriously, I would have no problem with that. I mean, as long as you ain't putting me in the hospital or something like that. But if you know some techniques or some moves that I could learn, I'm willing to learn. So should you be. Peace.